Well, tonight is the Academy Awards, and I'm here to talk about some Oscars with David Schoner from the New Jersey Motion Picture and Television Commission. There's a lot of film and TV production going on here in the state of New Jersey. David, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Well, we've got a lot to talk about.
Yes.
So before we get into the Oscar discussion, tell me a little bit about the film and television production that's going on in New Jersey, especially about the tax incentive program that's been expanded.
That's right. So New Jersey has a film and TV tax incentive program. And recently, actually a week ago, Governor Murphy upped it again and extended it for another 5 years. So it's very exciting.
So I want you to break this down for me because our audience may not know what this means. So let me set up a scenario and try to help me explain it. So when a movie is going to be produced and there's money to back that movie, the movie has to be filmed and produced somewhere. And so the state incentives are put in place to lure business to New Jersey.
Correct. So what we do is we're incentivizing film companies to come and spend money in the state, to hire crews, to use local services, to use businesses, locations. And so the only way the film companies really work when we track them down is it's about incentives.
Wow. So tell me about some of the films that are in the Oscars this year that were filmed in New Jersey.
Well, we have two big ones. Obviously, the main one is The Joker, and the second one is The Irishman.
So give me a little background of where these were produced and what was done here in the state.
So with The Joker, it was actually quite intense. When you look at Wayne Manor with the Chaplin banners hanging down, that's actually the Brenin courthouse in Jersey City. And when you look at the theater where the Joker is and Bruce Wayne's parents are walking down the alleyway, that is the Loews Jersey City in Jersey City. And the main set piece is in Newark, where the Joker's flipping the banner around and those kind of guys chase after him and kind of beat him up. And then also where they're riding around in the car, the police car, and everything's burning. Gotham's kind of descending into hell.
Wow. So, I mean, these days, so much of movie making is done with CGI or computers. But if I'm correct, a big part of downtown Newark was literally physically transformed into these scenes. Is that right?
That's correct. A lot of directors now really want to have as much realism in their product as possible. And so they do some CGI, but it's really conducive for the actors and the environment to create this type of place. And so 10 blocks in Newark, in downtown Newark on Market, Broad Street, Halsey, Branford, was transformed into Gotham City.
Tell me about some other films and TV shows that might not be in the Oscars, but were also done in New Jersey.
Well, our big thing right now is we have two TV series that just finished airing. One is still currently airing, but they're finished filming. One is called Lincoln Rhyme, The Bone Collector. It's actually on Friday nights, and it features Lincoln Rhyme who's chasing down a serial killer. They're based out of the Izod Center in East Rutherford. And the other one is Emergence, which is a story that takes place in Long Island, but they film it here in Jersey, and they just finished their season.
So some people may not realize that New Jersey was the birthplace of film production. Tell me a little bit about that.
New Jersey is the birthplace of film production because of Thomas Edison over in West Orange. And also Fort Lee is a major hub and was a major hub during that period of time when the turn of the century. When you talk about greats, Universal, Eclair, all these fantastic old film studios, they were all based out of Fort Lee. And I would say almost 90% of the population was working in some sort of film-related services back then.
And in Fort Lee, there's development and the grand opening of the Barrymore Center. Tell me about that.
Yes, so Fort Lee actually has a theater that they're going to be opening up. It's the Barrymore Film Center. It's approximately 260-seat house, and they're also going to be having a museum along with it as well. And so it's very exciting because this theater is going to be honoring the birthplace of filmmaking and New Jersey's place in the filmmaking world.
So David, before we get to your Oscar picks, tell me a little bit more about your own filmmaking experience and some of the projects you've recently been doing.
So I personally like to keep myself creatively sane, and that's a big deal of what I do.
Well, hold on a second. Creatively sane. Can you explain to me what you mean by that?
Well, creatively sane is I love working on other people's projects. It's really what I do. I thrive on it. I love multitasking. It's a real high to help filmmakers facilitate stuff and get it done in New Jersey, because it's all about filming in the state. And so what I try to do on the side is I'll make my own little projects. And currently, I have a kids' TV series pilot that I made called Arthur Futuro about this middle school kid who finds out that his future self comes to him and says, you have to change the present.
Wow. And
Yeah.
you've shot a series of these episodes. Tell me a little
So
bit.
we shot the pilot, we filmed the pilot last year, and right now we're going to film festivals and trying to get some attention on the series. And it's also a lot of fun because it was a pleasure and a blast to get it made.
And if I'm correct, you shot it in a nearby school right here down the road.
Yes, we did. We filmed in Cedar Grove High School and also in Cedar Grove Middle School, and actually used a lot of the Cedar Grove kids in it as well. We hired regular professional kids as well, but it was a nice little mixture of getting the community involved.
And if I'm correct, some of the local schools have recently been used for music videos and things like that?
They are. We try to encourage school systems, especially in these budgetary tight times, to have filmmaking and to host filmmaking. Obviously, you have to weigh the pros and the cons during the school day, not during the school day, but it's a great way for a school system to make some extra money.
So let's get to our Oscar predictions. Let's just focus on Best Picture for now. Let's take a look at the nominees. Ford versus Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. So the Academy has expanded the number of nominees. It used to be 5 and now it's many more.
Right.
Do you think that takes away from the competitiveness? It adds to the competitive? What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I think what the Academy wanted to do is that they felt that the 5 was too limiting and that there would not be an expansion of people's choice and taste. And so as you can see with all the nominees this year, it's a little bit all over the place. And I don't mean that in a bad way. You've got a film like The Joker, but you also have a film like 1917, and then you have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So it's a little bit of a different taste, and I think they're just trying to expand the palette of what you can choose from.
So I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Okay.
And you can answer this any way you want, but just tell me who you think, A, who will win Best Picture, but also maybe what your favorite movie is if it's different from who you think will win. Just go ahead.
So my favorite picture is going to be Joker. I think The Joker is going to win Best Picture, but I also have a favorite with Parasite. I like Parasite a lot, and I also like Jojo Rabbit as well. I really enjoyed those films, but I think Joker's gonna grab it.
I'm in that camp as well. I think Joker's got it. I think it has stiff competition with 1917.
1917 is also a choice. It's a really good choice as well, too.
Yeah, Golden Globe winner and BAFTA, if I'm correct.
Yes, correct.
I'm a fan personally of the score of Joker, which was very moving, and I recognized that when I was in the theater watching it, and I think that'll win Best Score.
All I have are negative thoughts.
So David, thanks for joining me. This has been great, and we'll have you back soon. In fact, we will see you at the Garden State Film Festival.
That's right, from March 25th to March 29th.
Right, so stay tuned for our coverage of the Garden State Film Festival in Asbury Park this year, and enjoy the Oscars.